Things just took a sickening turn for the Boston Red Sox, and specifically starting pitcher Tanner Houck. I'm here to break down all of the brand new updates surrounding his major injury, and really when could we expect to see him back. We'll break down all of that on this episode of Red Sox Digest, but first, remember to scroll down and click the subscribe button to stay up to date with everything Red Sox, as nearly 90% of you guys watching this video are not currently subscribed to the channel. We do appreciate all the love and support, so thank you guys tremendously for everything. But now let's get to it and break down. Down goes Tanner Houck. Now, I do not enjoy bringing you guys this video because I really was optimistic and hopeful in Tanner Houck in the performances and overall statistical production we were going to see from him this season. That is obviously not the case. And the reason being is because hope is not a plan. And that is really what we're going off of surrounding Tanner Houck. As now he will undergo Tommy John surgery, as this was tweeted from Chris Colito earlier this afternoon. Now, why is this so substantial? Well, Tanner Houck has been working down in the minor leagues in AAA, trying to rehab and get back to the major leagues and play alongside players like Garrett Crochet and Lucas Giolito and others in the starting rotation, where he could be a good complementary guy, giving you 3 to 4 innings, whether it's in the start of the game or in the middle innings in a form of relief. Now, whether or not which position he would end up taking over, we were waiting to see because of how his overall production had gone up to this point in the year on the major league level, where he was flat out abysmal. Not many other baseball savant page look as bad as Tanner Houck's did for his starts up to this point in the year on the major league level, and I don't enjoy saying that. I really don't. I'm a fan of Tanner Houck. I had a lot of optimism and hope, like I mentioned earlier, in him because of the pitch mix he maintains, and really just the filth that he has. And if you guys do not remember the glory days of Tanner Houck, it was last year where he posted a 3.5 WAR and was named an all-star in the American League. And the reason for that is because of just simply how gross he was. He had a 95 to 97 mile per hour sinker that was damn near unhittable to right-handed batters, and then he paired it with a sweeper that was wipe out stuff. And it legitimately a wiffle ball when he threw it. It was breaking an outrageous amount across the plate from right to left, and it produced a lot of swing and miss stuff, and it resulted in him being a very, very good pitcher, a very good complementary pitcher for this Boston Red Sox team in the form of a starter. He ended up posting a 3.1 ERA last year in 180 innings pitched. Overall, a very quality year for Tanner Houck. But now, this year is a total wash. Up to this point in the year was really underwhelming and disappointing before he got to AAA and he was working in rehab, where he posted in 6 1/3 innings. He posted 12 hits, 9 earned runs, 4 walks, 5 Ks, all over 3 different outings. Overall, not the production and overall performances we were looking to see from Tanner Houck, whether it's on the MLB stage or down in AAA in rehab. Overall, just getting shelled, getting hit around, and just not being the dominant guy on the mound that we saw last season for this same Red Sox team. So what happens now? Well, Christopher Smith went on to tweet this, giving us a whole bunch of information of really the timetable and breakdown of how this has really transpired for Tanner Houck and this Red Sox organization. So this was tweeted earlier today. Red Sox Tanner Houck underwent an initial MRI back when he was placed on the 15-day injured list with his right flexor pronator strain, May 14th. He said that the first MRI showed a good amount of inflammation in the flexor. The second MRI came after his 5 rehab outings. He said it showed, quote, significantly worse, end of quote, damage. Quote, it showed it got worse, definitely, Houck said. Flexor was torn a good bit, but just didn't feel right throwing. Didn't feel normal. Kind of the way that I operate at a high whippy volume. Just never really felt like it got back to normal. And that is the end of one of many quotes from Tanner Houck. So, took an MRI or had an MRI before he was placed on the 15-day IL originally. In that MRI, it showed a small strain in his right flexor. Played through it, rehabbed through it, tried to work his way through it, not going 100%, but again, going through games, going through workouts, going through rehab stints where he was still working on and using that arm and using those tendons and using those flexors without going 1,000% and without throwing himself into MLB level games, while still using it and making sure that, it's not getting all tight, making sure he's not taking an extended period of time off. And in doing so, it got substantially worse to the point where he now has to undergo Tommy John, which means he's going to miss the rest of this season. There's a good chance he misses all of next season for the Boston Red Sox, if not 2/3 to 3/4 of next season. Overall, just the worst case scenario for the Boston Red Sox and Tanner Houck. Someone who is younger, someone who is looking to really go out there and perform for this Red Sox team, to go into the next year and the following year to earn another contract with this Red Sox organization where he could be a part of this starting rotation, if not a main piece coming out of the bullpen along the same lines of a Garrett Whitlock, where they could be a middle inning guy more that could handle high leverage situations as well as just getting through easy low leverage situations as well, where he could be a reliable dominant arm coming out of the bullpen in the middle innings. Up to this point in the year, we all know that is not what we saw. He was used as a starter for this Red Sox team where he had good moments, but he also had a lot of bad moments, posting a 6.3 ERA up to this point in the year. That is 8.80. The font is extremely small on my screen. I apologize. But up to this point in the year, an 8.04 ERA for Tanner Houck up to this point in the year in 9 games played, all of them in which he has started in just over 40 innings total pitched. It was not the quality and efficiency in which we were looking for from Tanner Houck. If you look at things like the K percentage and the whiff percentage, none of them really correlating, none of them above league average. And the reason being is because of that 4-pitch mix he maintains was simply not getting the job done. And whether or not is because the velocity was way down due to a minor injury that substantially got worse and worse over time as he attempted to use it and throw through it, we don't entirely know. But through those first 8 games, those first 40 innings, or first 9 games, those first 40 or so innings, it did not work for Tanner Houck. And because of that, he was sent down to AAA. He ended up finding an injury. He tried to rehab through it down in AAA. Obviously, it did not result in anything positive, as now he is going to be sidelined, not only for the remainder of this year in the postseason, but basically all of 2026. And if there's a lockout in 2027, this is going to turn into an ugly, flat-out mess for the Boston Red Sox and Tanner Houck. This may be the worst case scenario. It really may be. Based off of what we saw from him on the mound up to this point in the year, and then following it up with him having to rehab, which the rehab followed up with another major injury in Tommy John, where he's now going to miss another year and a half, if not longer. Basically, worst case scenario. Someone that we were hoping to be the 3rd, 4th guy in the starting rotation for this Red Sox team went from being that to being not usable because of performances to then not being usable due to injury. Overall, just a giant pile of shit for the Boston Red Sox involving Tanner Houck this season. Overall, not the greatest way for it to go. But again, we will see how this all turns out later down the line. We are hoping a quick and speedy recovery on the best page scenario for Tanner Houck as he goes through Tommy John, as we see a lot of guys have to go through this. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know down below your overall comments and concerns with this entire idea of Tanner Houck and the Red Sox, and I will see you guys on the next episode of Red Sox Digest.